Hey, morning guys, morning family, morning girls, guys, aliens, and wherever you coming from and you watching this, welcome, good morning. It's the Psy Tai podcast number 54. It's a wonderful day. What is the actual day though? Wednesday. Yeah, guys, it's the Psy Tai podcast where you come to combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles, and you let whatever come out. It just comes rushing on out. You don't stop it. It just keep on going. Go. The crowd is real. Oh. So yes, here we are. We do not condone the use of any kind of illegal or legal drug. What you decide to do is what you decide to do. This channel for harm reduction, educational purposes only. So here we are today, and I titled this DMT. No, I did not. I titled this Superpowers. Let me take a look. Yeah, superpowers, psychic abilities and stuff. The Discord link, if you want to jump in and share your story, it is right in the description. I'll post another version of it in the link, the chat box. Well, y'all can jump in anytime and say whatever it is that y'all want to say. Speak your piece. So here that is right there. Bada bang, bada boom. I got this song I want to play real fast by Dre. Dre's been with the fam for a while. He hit me up yesterday, said, hey, you can use my music. So we're going to use it. We're going to open up the podcast with some good old tunes. So that's without further ado. So check out his SoundCloud. Here we go right here. We're going to play the first one that comes up. He was saying he's been getting back in his childhood, not really socially interacting with a lot of people, and creating a song every day. So, salute. This one is called Gems. Got any music, send it this way. I'll play it on the podcast. I'll react to it. Y'all can. What's going on, Nicholas? Just playing some music by our friend Dre. He's part of the Trippy fam. Told me to check this out. Let me share this on the Discord. Sharing the page at the same time. Oh, that was Dre. That was Dre. So remember, check out his SoundCloud. Stay in tune with the fan. We all out here creating something every day. Somebody on the team doing something. Let me find the chat box. There we go. Somebody on the team gonna always be doing something. It's funny when I try to always share the Facebook. When I always try to share the live on the Facebook and stuff, they always post old lives. So they posted this old picture of me looking drunk outside, like podcast 37. You too funny. There it is. Now it's coming up. Let's share this. We live. There it is. All right. So yep. That's I was just in there doing it. But yeah, that's what this. I titled this the superpowers and psychic abilities. Like who could come forward and talk about that stuff? Who would want to? Because I already have been. And now since I've been messing with the DMT, it's always been an actuality. That's the thing. Oh man, let me share this the right way. Next. Group. Why they make this so difficult? It's not difficult, it is easy. If I can find it. I was trying to find a certain page that I always like to share it to. But it's not coming up. And that's alright. The page I was looking for was my page. I can't find it, just our page on Facebook. But yeah, superpowers and stuff like that. Because I grew up listening about people healing people by putting their hands on them, and not just going to church, but like the documentaries where they would call a psychic out the woods, or like the laying of hands and all of that, just in general, and healing and stuff. Yo, what's up on Discord now? Just about to post the mycology. Hey, you got the notification. That's what I like. But yeah, I'm in the Todd Discord. But the mycology, yo, it's popping. I just got a little one today. I didn't know was going to be there. I got this little joint going. I was like, oh wow, nice surprise for the day. But yo, look at this section real fast. Like, if you ever want to go and do this stuff, like the mycology, cultivation section, check it out. It's a bunch of tips in there on, remember, we're not promoting. This is all like just what you would do if you had the tools to cultivate for personal resources, personal references, experience. Check out the cultivation tab on True Life thing. Discord. There's a bunch of people in there. It's not really loading up how I want it. I'm trying to find just like a cool picture. Alright, there goes some nice ass mycelium. Oh gosh, hold on. Bang! Look at this. Ancient Mario Brown. Then look at that. Oh, that's a nice little forest of mycelium popping on up. And then you get the knots going. And then they start appearing. And it's a bunch of tips. We share information. People all over the world. Got the heavy hitters in here. But you can go in here and see who the heavy hitters is yourself. But it's a bunch of tips because this is a new field. Mycology is a new field, like cultivating and growing them and stuff like that. Just like how it is with marijuana. and how it was for marijuana too. Cause my homie next door, hey, what's going on, Sahi? My homie next door, he got some trimmed bud, cause his homie trims bud for these people that live out in the mountains, and they grow pounds and pounds of weed. But they had a deal like 20 pounds for $2,000 or 30 pounds, something like that, because the small buds it was just off the small buds from the trees that they was growing, because they got their techniques so perfected that was just chump change. I'm about to tap in now. I'm about to check it out now. Like, that was just chump change to them. They growing buds. I was like, yo, and there was some nice sized buds. When I grew mine 4 years ago, like the ones that they was just giving away to them, that was my pride and glory. So it's the same thing with the mushrooms. The techniques to grow the cubensis species is very relatable, but in order to get a flourish, and the even canopies, or just get them to grow a pound out of a tub, just like you do with the plants. It takes some techniques, considerations, and patience, and workarounds, and flow. But I'm gonna see what Ozo just posted. Some new stuff. Yes, I know I'm viewing older messages. I was still going up. Still going up. But hey, yeah, guys, while I was writing in that, what I was going on was the healing powers, and like wait, let me get this on here. I can heal. I can heal. I can see. I can change the past. I can see, like, anything I always seen. The way that the DMT was it's showing me things, and it's not letting up. Like, even like now when I smoke weed and stuff now, I'm like, yo. Not even like yo, cause I'm enjoying it. But as soon as I see myself saying yo, it feel like I'm tripping right now. I just put myself. I say, oh, that's a fear. Cause I'm not tripping right now. I'm just tapped in. I'm tapped in right now. Me saying I'm tripping right now is me being in the footprints of people that I was hearing before, and they say, oh man, I can't smoke that much no more. Cause when I smoke, feel like I'm on DMT tripping. I'm like, yo, that's what I always wanted from my weed. I always wanted to feel like I was blasting off from just taking a couple puffs. So it was a fear game I was playing, but it just was letting me know that it's a whole new level now. I'm on a whole level of experiences where there's no real turn off button without causing a lot of personal mental destruction. It ain't no running away now. It's no try to hide, cause it's like you saw too much. It's like that kind of scenario. You saw too much. There's no turning away now. You in the game. I'm thinking of the guy on the Matrix when he went back to go eat the chicken and the steaks and stuff after seeing everything. He was kind of balding in the movie, and he went back. He's like, oh no. He's like, oh, this is good. Oh, like, I don't know what y'all on, y'all leather suits and y'all glasses. Y'all always about to die. So I love it. I love it because it makes for me. And I was tying on this on the Matrix too. A couple days ago, on how the writers still try to get people caught up, or you still try to make yourself not remember as much. Cause then I was taking that line in the Matrix when they was tying on the eating scene, and I was like, oh man, that means you're not supposed to eat meat. That means you're not supposed to enjoy anything that's really here. And then I showed myself that was just another trap. That was just not a trap, but that was just another game. That was just another, for me, in my life, my story. That was another checkpoint, another mission that I had to get over, that I had to accomplish. And had all these overcoats and pseudo sayings and making me go this way, thinking I was going this way the whole time. It's cool. It's cool. Cause we setting up this game that always have us on some kind of mystery game. No matter how far you think you got it figured it out, we always got this extra question mark that pop on our head. We really curiosity is awesome. Curiosity is awesome. But what was I saying before too? I mean, oh, I see where Ozo is. I'm gonna jump in. It never loaded up what he was typing. Jump in True Life chat. If it will let me. See, look, it won't let me. Oh, I already am. Oh, that's something I've been doing too. I've been just in the flow. In the flow. Because that's the only thing that I know. And the rhyming words too, the rhyming schemes. Usually it's in the back of my head, but now it's there. But yeah, I'm gonna hit up Ozo. Hey Ozo.
What up?
Hey bro. I've been feeling the powers, bro. Just to say it in a geeky way.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the show because I'm trying to like do something at the same time, so I'm just tapping in. It's tight.
No, it's alright. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, man, that shit gets your vibration up to a point that you feel all kind of weird shit.
Yeah, and it's like what I've been trying to practice and look into, and now it's just coming out like, dare I say, naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, and it makes sense. Like I don't hear no questioning in myself. It's just like I do something, a certain thing happen, and then later it's like, see. And then in the past, I don't. It's like even in the past, me was set in all. I don't even believe in the past no more. Like me saying certain words and having certain behaviors to try to describe things. Like it's like it brought me to a level that's past that, where I can see the me that was asking those questions, and like what I was doing while asking those questions, and me asking the questions wasn't distracting me, but it was me forgetting what I was actually doing in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. It's cool. I was trying to think of an example, but just things that's on my mind, like dreams. Like I'm always getting and going now. I'm getting and going. Like I'm not saying, oh, I'm gonna go do this later. Like if a thought come in my mind, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to. I made myself. It's I either see it as like something right next to me, talking to me real fast, letting me know like what's going on to like help me out, or at the same time is me setting up a breadcrumb and like a deja vu will hit me, but I realize so fast that it's a deja vu moment that my mind is like in a clear state to make a decision instead of making it's like I'm making different decisions. Like I'm playing the same game, but I'm in the same moment of experience, but I'm literally making a different decision. And it's it's just so real to me because I don't need to say anything. It's just happening. I don't need to say, man, I'm gonna manifest today or I'm gonna focus on it. It's just bang, 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 and healing. And I feel as though I can, like the everything that I'm watching. I know I'm ranting too, but the things that I watch, it's like everything that I watch, it keep telling me that that's you. That's me reminding me. That's me reminding you of what you supposed to be doing or what is possible. Not what you supposed to, but the path that you can take. And Shaman Oaks, that guy that got the YouTube channel popped in my head. And when he was talking about that he can heal, and he was made a YouTube video where he said he can send healing. He made a whole new one. He said he can send healing energy out of his hands, and like certain people can pick up on it. And he started getting this after his ayahuasca journeys. And I said, wow, and that was just coming to my head. So now, like whenever I see something in my head, like is a switch is now like, and that's why I've said the DMT and stuff, like literally flick the switches now. Like it flicked the switch where I in my story I recognize it as, oh, this is a reminder right now. This not me having a thought. or like a random thought or something. Like this is an archetype, so to speak. And this is something, as in, this is what's possible. This is what's out here. This is what you're doing in his body. So you could do this too. And
Mm.
yeah, and like everything what you was saying when you was saying you was doing the OA stretches. I don't know what to call it. I was about to say dances.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just there.
yeah, man, it is. Man. It's yo, listen, man. You know those little machine things that they sell that it's like a little square pad, sticky pad that you stick on. You use electricity and it makes your skin jump, makes your muscles jump.
Yeah.
It's an electrical thing.
Uh huh.
Forgot what those are called, but
I don't know what they call it either, but I know what you're talking. I was gonna say
yeah,
you say
they
shock pad.
I don't know, but it makes you it like make your whole arm like if you put it in the right spot on your arm, for example, it'll make your arm do some wild shit. Like it'll jump like crazy, like like your whole hand. And when you put it in another spot, it'll make your hand close and open and close and open. Like it's mad crazy how electrical pulses make your hands and shit move. But I'm just saying this because um when I was tripping one time, man, I got these two stones. One of them one of them I I grabbed it in a trip and some shit happened with a being or whatever that it showed me. The other stone though is a little oval kind of. It's kind of like a bird egg, like it looks like a dinosaur egg or like an ostrich egg that's been petrified into stone. But you can see all the fucking not as big as an ostrich egg either. It's like fist size. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like a petrified egg, and then it's got like little crystals and stuff that reflect off it. I don't know what kind of stone this thing is, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, but it's kind of. So what I'm saying is that one time, like when I was tripping, I grabbed that stone instead of the other stone, and this stone had some shit coming off of it, like magnetic electrical force. That when I put it next to my fucking arm, because my arm had a nerve in it that was jumping and jumping and jumping, and it wouldn't stop jumping. It was like a week and a half that I had this little nerve that kept ticking in my arm, and it was bothering the shit out of me. That I was even like, I punched in my arm one time mad hard to kill that fucking nerve. Like fuck you, fucking like stop jumping all the time. Like because it wouldn't. I would rub it. I would try to do all kind of things to fucking make this little nerve stop twicking. Like the ones that be jumping in your eye sometimes, those little stupid little nerves.
Yep.
But anyways, it was in my arm. So I got to the point that I got mad and I punched my arm, dog, and that shit still didn't kill that. Fuck, I'm gonna end up damaging myself trying to stop it. So when I was tripping one time, I felt that nerve shit, and I was immediately like, I'm gonna kill this shit right now. I'm gonna make this shit stop. And I grabbed that stone, and I thought that I would use that stone as like a counterweight to stop the shit from like to pinch it in
Mm-hmm.
between my arm. And as soon as I put that shit next to my arm started twitching like that fucking machine that people plug and they fucking put on their body. The rock had the power to do that shit, and everywhere I put the rock, and I would flip the rock to the other side, and it wouldn't do it. And then I would flip the rock to the. It was only one. It was like a negative and positive side to the stone. One side of the
Oh, I
stone,
don't say that.
yeah, one side of the stone would do that shit and the other side wouldn't. And yo, dude, and it didn't only and it stopped that shit on my arm and cured it. And not only did it do that, but I put it next to my face and I felt my magnetic on my fucking like around my eye and everything like pulling my eyeball like it was weird, dude. This thing had this shit and I don't know if it was active. The stone only activated because I was active because when I tried to grab it and I really stayed away from it. Something with it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, dude. It's like it amplifies something. It amplifies when you grab it. Your body energy amplifies it as a tool, I guess. You know.
It is a tool. You had me thinking. Well, not thinking. That's why I'm changing my language. I had a vision of all these people now. You was talking that I know that have just two people that have crystals. They wear it around their wrist and their neck and stuff. And like I was saying, I keep getting visions of archetypes. So like, yeah, this is on point. This is it. And I was thinking of magicians and stuff, like having the crystals on the end of the staff and things like that. And how in stories, like those are the tools that's used to channel your magic, and you working alongside the crystals, And then once you get like years and years down the line, you start being able to see that you didn't need the crystal, but for all them years it would have never worked if you didn't have it. I was thinking about that kind of scenario, like the levels. But it is.
Yeah.
I think the mushrooms and working with the crystals is when you really get the magic out of it, instead of just trying to sell them for a bunch of money real fast.
That's I agree.
Yeah. Or else it's just a pretty rock, just like everything else. That was on the episode of The Simpsons. Marge had found out that selling crystals was a cool thing that moms do that sit at home. So she was selling a bunch of crystals, and then she found out it was just a huge big business, and it was another mom that was mad at her for doing it. But once you start really diving into it, like yeah, like you're saying, the real deal pops up. The real, like what we keep hearing about, all the fantasies. All the fantasies is just like, oh yeah, this how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, man. Yo, this I don't know, man. I gotta go to a shop, but I want to go in there when I'm like on a low dose that my body's at, and then walk into the run my hand across everything in there. This is the one. This one.
That's how you do it, man. I'm telling you, my stuff is changing to, I suppose, a character that I not suppose, that's what's me trying to hide still. A character I know I always wanted to become when I was a kid. It's like I knew this when I was a kid. I knew all of this magic, this healing powers, and all of this stuff, and I was developing it, and then I stopped. And as I got a tool to help me develop it even farther, or remind me of the practice that I was doing as a kid. And now it's like, now I'm back on it. It's this movie called, I found out, I was watching it called Imagine That with Eddie Murphy. It came up on Netflix. And I say it came up because it wasn't there yesterday. When I see something new, I'm like, yo, I just popped into reality where this movie now exists. They ain't just come out with it. Even if it say it came out a long time ago, I never heard of it before. But it's about his daughter who has a huge imagination, and he works in the business field. He likes to and he's real good at it. He's real in the corporate field, and she sees him as a king because he keeps everything in order over there, and he goes against other corporations and stuff like that. But overall, the story plays out as him ignoring his daughter because she has imaginary friends that she talks to over top of everything else, and it distracts her from school and things. So he always trying to do work and still trying to do the daughter thing. But eventually they start getting real closer when he start playing alongside with her imaginary friends, and they start giving him business advice, but in a way where it's not real straight analytical. But they would like say somebody got caught with their pants down and was pooping. But when he brought that to his field, like he zoned out one day and was skitzing out when he was presenting his findings to his team, and he was just saying what the imaginary people was doing, and then he forgot about everything. But then they came back and said, yo, everything you said wound up being genius, because it was all a metaphor for what was actually happening in the real world. Like getting caught with your pants pulled down, a company got caught like trying to hide stuff with their taxes or something, and they got caught with their pants down, then they got shitted on, and their company got shut down. That's the only example I really remember because it was funny. But it was just all these stories that was playing out from the imaginary friends, and everybody was looking at him because then he started going along with it. And that's why I was like, yo, this is me right now. He started going along with it more and more, so that the people that he was working with, they say, yo, stop playing. Like other people say, stop playing around. And other people say, yo, he's a genius. Like, we just got to decipher what's going on, what he's saying. It relates to the business field. And I was just going around with it because the DMT and stuff was, I'd say DMT was trying to get me, it's trying to get me settled. It's settling me in this mind state that, yes, this is you. This is you going on now. And they're not imaginary friends. but they are imaginary friends, just to put it simple, and that we give advice, because it's me too, so I just say we give advice like a Siri, and like helping, but it's just another level, because really I'm really paying attention. I'm really paying attention in a way I never, in the way that I am just now. I don't know if I ever never did, because I probably did in another reality. I don't, they just really talking, and they be showing me how much in my story I created for me to forget so fast. Like I would hear. That's why I say certain questions I ask or certain personalities I would pop up real fast. I would know that was for me. That was me trying to forget, like me trying to be the guy in the Matrix and eat the steak, and just be comfortable real fast. And I would say it too, but the voice is just so. Wow, it's the game. The game is just real. The game is real. It's, uh, I'm closing my eyes now because.
It's that duality between knowing and being, or doing and being.
Yeah, man.
Children of two worlds.
Man. That's why I said I'm gonna come up not with I ain't gonna come up with a schedule, but if I'm not with the live that much, I'm still gonna be here. But the words and stuff and me talking, I just been observing. I just been observing and doing not I am doing something right now, but I just been doing like whatever the thought come to my mind. I can't even explain, bro. It just seemed like I'm in a training round. I'm in a school. Like I'm in a middle school now or high school now. I was in elementary school for a long time, just playing around, coloring, and now it's like I'm starting to add stuff up. I'm starting to do some multiplication. Like remember you was adding, now remember that add. Now we multiplying.
Hey, listen, have you ever where you live at? Does it snow a lot? Like
Not
heavy snow?
Not at all. Like this the
Nah.
less snow I ever experienced because I'm from the
Oh,
East Coast.
yo, fam, all this morning my phone didn't even work all morning, like because of the weather. The snow was so thick, it was gray and dark out here, and it's snowing like a motherfucker. I went outside, and it's like, dude, I went out there, dog, and it's so snowy and quiet. Like in the forest, I was looking at this hill, this big ass fucking. It's like a little mini mountain, but it's not really a mountain. It's a big ass hill, and fucking, but it's all stone underneath it, like granite rock, like on top, underneath the forest. Like it's like because on the side of it is chiseled out, and you can see the stone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a mini mountain. But the spot where I live, this lady that I was talking to the other day, she was out there. She said that the entire little town that I live on is built off this mountain, this slate, stone, or granite, or whatever the fuck it is built on, and that's why that shit looks like that. So I'm just saying this shit now. I'm getting a little lost track, but like, dude, to go outside, I was thinking about going out there tripping balls into this whiteness, dog. Like this white snow is so crazy looking in the forest, and everything looks so quiet and silent, and like it would be dope. But I don't know if I would like get. I don't know.
You don't? That's always the thing.
Yeah, I got all kind of gear though. I got all kind of snow gear, snow suits and shit. Like I got serious shit, but I don't know if I'll go out there and just not feel the cold and get frostbite or some weird shit. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's what my daughter be saying. She be saying, I don't need my jacket. I got magic. And she be serious. So I know what you're talking about. But no, I think you got enough sense. I'm not, you know what I mean. But you never know in those cases because we let ourselves go. I see how much I let myself go, even no matter how much dose I take. I'm always trying to let myself go as much as possible on that dose, even if it's like exaggerated. And I'll be like, oh, I actually can sit up. I like, now I'm gonna lay down. The only time I saw the snow like that was on acid. I did acid and went out in the snow. And it wasn't really changing up things, but that much change up things. But I was just enjoying exactly the feeling you were saying is what I was in. And I was just seeing the big snowflakes fall. I just felt like a kid again. So I like that I did that. So you should still go do that. I was thinking of,
Yeah, man.
I saw
I'm gonna
Frozen
do
2
that.
yesterday with my daughter. We had to go for her field trip. They rented out the movie theater and stuff. But the segue I had into that, um when I went to go do DMT on the mountain. Oh, and what's up, Brad? I'm just seeing you in there. What's up, Brad? Keep on the grind. Keep on the grind. I was hiking up the mountain. That's why I'm saying, excuse. My imaginations compared to other people is turned up, and ever since I started really taking bigger doses and having them more back to back instead of spreading them out, so I can like remember more often. When I was approaching the mountain, climbing up, it was these huge boulders that was scaring me because I felt something. I felt their presence. I felt that they were there. Like they were there when I literally was looking at them, but I knew that they were there. Like it was more to it. So I was like, I ain't walking up to them. I didn't feel like I didn't want to walk up to them. So I took another path and walked around and walked up. And then I saw in my imagination like those was real. Like they was golems, so to speak. And that's where they was settling. Like that's how I was seeing it all played out. And then tell me how I went to go see Frozen, and that was a big Frozen 2, and that was a big thing in the picture. It was these huge golem rocks that was settled into the mountains, but when they moved, they removed the shape of the mountains on how you was used to seeing it, and then they wound up being these huge golems that was walking around. And I was just saying to us, I was like, yo, I knew what I was feeling. I knew they was there. I knew how they was there. So that's what I'm saying. All the stuff I'm picking up on, I'm able to believe in it and trust in it a lot more. And it's not doing nothing for me but making my experiences better. Like my experiences here on Earth seem way more worthwhile and way more for something for me to actually want to dig more into. Like I was playing David Blaine again. And it was just saying, see, like he doing the sleight of hand and stuff like that. But what he's picking up on, like I see, that's the other power I was saying, being able to perceive memories of people's past. I always thought that was just something that I would pick up on and like, oh yeah, I can see where you got that from. And like I don't say a lot of things out loud, but when I'm looking at somebody, like I can see parts and it's in bitty pieces of their life, like of their childhood or how this certain thing came to be, or even if it's not totally related, it's like always something similar. And then it always comes out later when we talk about our experiences, and then I'll be just shaking my head nodding my head to myself like, yeah, I knew that, that's why we buddies. But I would just play it off as that was something I was making up to feel as though I have a connection to somebody. But when I was watching Undone again, I rewatched the series again yesterday because I wanted to show my girlfriend and just have it talk to her, whatever pops up. And plus, I just wanted to watch it again. And that was my excuse, I guess, I made in this reality. But it was the part where she was talking to the cop that was confirming things for me, and she was trying to you remember the part when she was trying to convince to get some details on an old police report. And then she just zoned out and she saw that she had lost her dad too. And she saw how it did. And she saw with her boyfriend a scenario when he was in school getting Trip threw me off. Going on Trip. I like when he popped through. Trip is the bro. Man. Yo, Trip, you're a real one, bro. I just gotta let you know, bro. You be on my mind just going at it, just living your life. Like that's G. That's more than G. That's all good. It's all good. Which still starts with G. But yeah, I was thinking about all of that. And yeah, getting memories from people. She was getting her boyfriend's memories. And I was like, yo, I have these occurrences happen all the time. And that's why I'm always quiet when I first meet a person. Because it's this whole film roll strip will be playing through my mind. And but I'm used to ignoring it. Because not ignoring it, but just not giving it as much attention. Because I'm like, all right, I want to pay attention to what the person is actually saying to me in this reality. But now that I'm able to relax, I'm able to see a little more of both. And I'm going to keep playing with it. Now that I'm able to. and not just see it as something like I used to think that, oh man, that's why I said I was so stupid. Not stupid. Yeah, I was so stupid. So stupid, and I didn't know. I really didn't know what I was already doing. And that's what I meant a long time ago. And I said I was doing it. And we all doing stuff. But it's like we convinced ourselves that we're not doing it. Of the exact thing we searching for. And that laugh confirms it. You know, Exile. And I ain't tired of the loop. That's why I'm still here. I'm still here living and breathing. I'll keep riding this game out because I don't got no fear, even when it comes to that. Because that's another form of fear. And that's what was freaking me out when I was smoking. Like 2 in the morning last night. And I was like, man, this is what they did. They said when you smoke and you're going to get the DMT flashes. I don't want this. Or I already went over that earlier in the podcast. But then I was like, oh, it's just acceptance. I'm just turned on. I'm just turned on. And I ain't turning off yet. I ain't done turning up, bitch. Old Chief Keef. But, and that's what, excuse me.
Hey, how enjoyable was that when you was up there on your birthday? What else did you get out of that you didn't say on the camera and shit?
Man, everything that I'm kind of saying now, how everything was just connecting. Like I felt like I led not felt like, it's just I knew I led myself up there. I made myself sit down there, and I was looking at the clouds. The clouds was like whipping around, and I was trying to look for UFOs. Because I had the thought, oh, I want to see a UFO. And then I said, no, I do. I want to see something. I want to see something floating. But then I was just letting go of all expectations. And I just let's try to let whatever happen just pop on up. Even though I do be knowing, like, yo, even that, you still got your intentions. But I just felt cool. Like, I felt like it was my birthday, like you said. But I didn't at all because it felt like I had my birthday every time. It's like I had a million birthdays that I just forgot about. Like every time I do go on this trip.
That was the first time that you ever did something for yourself like that for your birthday, right? Like I've never even thought of that, like, you know what I'm saying, secluding myself and doing something like, but that's deeper than anybody could even think of doing like a trip, like by yourself somewhere, like I mean, you did the DMT and you was that's crazy. But I could imagine even the mushrooms, like going out there into the forest, like camp yourself and just chill out under the stars all night, break night. Like that shit would be crazy.
Yeah, you're right about that. There's the and that's why I was saying all them thoughts start encountering, and it's just you, and then you learn that it's not just you. It's like everything around you is you, leading you on the path that you're taking. But you have the mindset when you first go out there. It's a whole adventure story every time, because I don't know where I'm gonna end up at. I don't know how far I'm gonna go, and every time I go out there, I wind up going farther than I planned on. What's going on, Yolanda? Than I planned on. But then at the end, at the destination, I'm always like, this was the destination from the start. And the extra pushing, getting lost and looking at that tree and saying, oh, I want to get closer to that tree right now. Like those was all those was all checkpoints. All checkpoints. And it had to come about so organically, or I was never gonna go down that path. And like you said, going out there alone, like my eyes just get wide open. Like, and I don't have any other thoughts. Like, and it's me creating that story. That's the DMT show. Like, in the woods, you're creating a story where it's just you. It's just you out there. Hey, Yolanda, trip good. Trip good, Yolanda. That's the home. But yeah, going out there is like you literally taking into the deepest account and writing a story where is no other reflections out there to try to to come against you. You know what I mean? Also, like the make the thought that you have in your head not as believable, and what I turn that into is not as powerful. So like you like it feel like I'm always going into a tunnel, and I'm just popping back out, just sitting there on top of the mountain, being able to have that full 360 panorama view and look out. Like I see, it's like I'm zoomed out. I'm zoomed out, and everywhere I look, it's like when you looking out, it's like that whole collection that I can keep in my hand is like a whole life thing right there. Like it could be a whole like 10 blocks in my hand, and that's a whole people. Like that's their whole life, right? It was so much, bro. I'm trying to create metaphors, and I'm envisioning myself sitting up there, cause it's all poetry. That's the best thing. I become poetry when I'm up there. Like whatever you, the best things you can say. That's just how I felt.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like there's a lot of weird feelings with death and this shit, man. A lot of it, it's all about follow through, man. Like I can't even trip again until I finish doing anything that it came up in the trip that I have to do, because I'll feel uncomfortable as fuck if I try to go trip again. I already know I have to handle all of that stuff.
I just
Like
cleaned
that's
the
the
kitchen
only way.
yesterday.
Because it'll keep nagging you and nagging you if you don't do certain things.
Because I said that, and I said this to myself a long time ago. That's why I hear myself setting it up through you, confirming and everything. That I want to be able to sit, I want to be able to trip whenever I want in my own house comfortably. Like I want to be able to look around and already just be tripping just by looking around my house. Like I must be tripping. Like this is my house. And then, oh, that's all right, Yolanda. I'm reading it. He said your phone was messing up. She had accidentally hid Tripp's comment. UL said, well, I was just shown the Wi-Fi issue. Easy soldier fix. Oh, solder fix. Man, yeah, that's what we talking about. UL, how being shown things that's just helping us in our regular life, helping us get these problems in a way where it's like we asking Siri real fast. And then sometimes Siri don't help us out unless we do something real quick first. Like, no, this is a relationship. You ain't gonna run me. Oh, but yeah, I'm like that too. That's why I make sure I call my mom, my nana, my grandmom, and them, just to call them and say, hey, what's going on with your day? What's going on with your day? Because I know they see what I'm doing a little bit, and they just like, oh, he off doing his thing. I hope he's okay. I hope he get a job soon. But when I talk to them, I just try to make sure they cool about their day. Because they don't be knowing that the things going on with their day be on my mind. Like, I be like, I want y'all to be cool. Like, I want y'all to be cool. And knowing that y'all cool is me just knowing that I talk to y'all and say, hey. Because, well, all those deaths with the DMT was showing me, gosh, I didn't bring no water. Is that all those deaths that was happening around me, like even in y'all circles, which is still around me, it was showing me just what humans always say at the end of the day. Take care and love the ones that surround you while they're still here. Even if you go into these experiences and you saying that we saying things ain't real and this is not real, but our experiences and what we feel is, if it's real to us or like me, is real to me. And right now my grandma and them, they're real to me. So me calling and just connecting with them, even if it's just for 5 minutes, that's something. That's something that the deaths from 2 weeks ago, which I was showing me, overall showing me. Not to get lost in a depression of loss and suffering, but to see that morality in this world shows its face and it shows its picture, and death is not what we know it is. I mean, what we think it is and stuff like that. But and it keeps on going and going and going. But still, facing morality is a huge thing. Is a huge thing for humans to face. The face. So it's the balanced picture, just showing everything. Showing everything. And I like when it does that, cause then I can sit and smile if I want to choose to, and not say I can't smile because they're not here anymore, or I can't smile because now I'm having thoughts like that. It's like, yeah, have thoughts like that, and just keep on, let it play out, and then more thoughts going to come up afterwards, and then more thoughts after that. It's just like all these thoughts is different worlds of imagination, just like a trip. Like during a trip, that's why, man, Terrence and them, there was a reason he was talking so much, because he was so bold in his trips. Like he was saying, like, don't become deaf by astonishment, and that phrase was so like powerful. It traversed the multiverse, and like we still say that to this day and act on that character. Like my trips, I don't get caught up in nothing. like a trip, like, oh yeah, that's cool, but yeah, this too. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the ball rolling. And that relates. That correlate. Ever since I started doing that, it correlates back to this reality, where I have my emotions. That's whole realities and worlds within worlds. But this is an emotion, and I'm not. And now this is an emotion, and I'm gonna feel like this. But then I'm gonna feel like this. I'm not just this type character, like a character and personality, like in a cartoon or something, like that doesn't have growth, like anime. Like that character always plays out the same type scenarios because they got the same pattern of thoughts and always feel the same kind of ways when situations come up. So they always get the same kind of piece of cake, just from the same size of cake, just from a different flavor. So. You will say you can choose to perceive how you feel in recall of past ones and situations. And perception game, yeah, that's what we talking. The perception game, man, it's turned up. It's turned up. It ain't no going back, and I like it.
I know it was something about it though, man. Walking in that snow, and just knowing that it was so different. It's like an alien. It's like us already alien, seeing everything covered in snow because nothing's familiar, no paths, no familiar, nothing. Everything's different. And then on top of that, to trip on that would be crazy. I know that's gotta be nice. And even like it made me think of other things too. Just now, like tripping when it's raining hard outside, just you're out there in the rain, like you know what I'm saying, shit like that.
I was just thinking about you walking in the snow and you tripping and saying, yo, I'm making my own path. Because you're looking behind you and seeing your footprints, and there's no footprints in front of you, no paths or anything. That'd be cool. Yo, I noticed I know a lot. I noticed a kid's movie. But Frozen 2 was deep. Because Frozen 2, instead of like dealing with that, and I gotta say it because that's just how open I am right now. Like in that movie, I was all the characters, but I was Elsa, and I was like mostly Olaf. Olaf in that movie, he played he had all the adult jokes in there, but in a way where Olaf was like sentient. Well, he already is sentient, but he was like super conscious for some reason in that movie. And he was asking all these questions about things seeming like they're nothing, but we still love it. And then when Anna was like trying to go back in the store, he said, all right, we're not going to talk about anything important. What's the weather today? He was dealing with all these mushroom-like thoughts, and when stuff would pop up, he was saying, it's just an experience. I'm gonna know what this means when I'm older. And that's what allowed him to just go for the different experiences and laugh when they was happening while everybody else was going through all this chaos and emotional turmoil and stuff like that. He was laughing it off. And it just said he was trippy. He was being trippy throughout the whole movie because it's like he was aware of that he was in the movie and that what he it was wild. It was cool how they put that. And the story plot to that movie, it was they went back dealing with nature spirits, and the colony that dealt with nature spirits, and the other one that was dealing with trying to build society like how we have now. And it was an old war that went on. Then the clans like
I always think about shit like that. Like, are they trying to tell us something about the past? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there used to be magical shit, and then we came with our society and our shit, and just shit on everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fucked everything up. But there's always a gem like that in the cartoons too, man. There's always weird shit. Like you know, I watch a lot of things on ever since the shit with the Bigfoot and shit like that. That I've seen them on the trip. Like, I've been looking at Missing 411 videos and stuff like that, and different things about things in the forest and shit like that. It can it be them, or can it be something else? What can it be? And there's a lot of different stories that connect in ways that, if you have a good like recollection of things, or you really listening. Oh shit.
you still there? Oh, you dropped something?
Yeah. No, I was getting a phone call, but I'm not taking that call. But yeah, fucking I was saying that you know, they show little pieces of nuggets of information in places, and in the Missing 411, one of the things about people that are missing is weird stuff that happens. Like, they find someone's tooth, that's it, on a log, just sitting there, like, just your tooth, one of your molars, the rest of you's gone. Like, perfect, like if it was put there on purpose to fucking for someone to find. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like weird shit like that, and fucking so anyways, thinking about that stuff, then I was watching that it came out, this cartoon called Smallfoot.
Small. Oh,
And
I didn't finish it. I
yeah,
was
so
watching it.
Smallfoot, there's a small part where the fucking Sasquatch, and they so the Bigfoot is so big, the Yeti, the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, all of them are the same.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, this creature fucking walks up to him and tries to touch him, and it fucking knocks a tooth right out of his fucking mouth, and the tooth lands on a fucking thing, and he's like, he tries to put it back. Like, yo, dude, it was the same thing that happens. It was just a little fucking Easter egg about fucking how they just found the tooth where the guy was at, and the Yeti took him. You know what I'm saying? The same shit in the fucking, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then there's this other one that they came out with called Abominable. And Abominable or whatever, is a new cartoon that just came out, and the Yeti in that one has nature powers to move nature and do things. And fucking you know, thinking about all these people on YouTube talking about the giant and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? And they're saying that some of these Yetis and Bigfoot and shit, that they look like men, and some of them are redhead, and some of them look like just redhead dudes. Some of them are just like and Neanderthal, but big motherfuckers. They're not even human size. They're like fucking beyond human. They're like animal size human, like bear size. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And just watching these little cartoons and shit, it's like they prep the kids always for shit, but they never. The adults are the ones that are not willing to bet. Like, if they don't want to talk about Sasquatch on the news or nothing like that, or the implications of them, if it is even real. It could be bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But it seems like there's always been beings that are humanoid on this planet, multiple ones. Like the way we find in the museums, you look at that shit, mad hominoids that were all living at the same time. Why is it now that there's only one? And it seems like we're everywhere, but we're not, because not everything has been observed on land. Most of the fucking United States is all fly. Nothing has been observed on foot. No one has walked certain places that had never been man walked there ever. They just observe it by radar and by fucking airplane flyovers and shit. That's it.
Yep. And they try to say is they don't even talk about them things, like you were saying, the unexplored parts of America. They're trying to say that the Amazon and all that is unexplored. But it's a lot of things here we ain't even beginning to really get into. And we leave it up to
Nothing. Not
people.
even the ocean. Not even the ocean.
Nope, don't get started on the ocean. That's like 70% of the earth,
Yeah.
75%. And we don't know nothing about the deepest trenches or any of that. We still on the surface with things. And once you go deeper, I like how the animals don't even have behaviors and familiarity to creatures that even live closer to the surface of the waters, because they don't need to rely on the sun to convert for food or anything. They skin become translucent. They become real bioluminescent, start glowing, creating their own lights and stuff like that.
Hey,
That's
check this out, right?
awesome.
You know, if you've been around season changes in places where
Hey,
it's
Matt
cold,
B. Mm-hmm.
you you got I'm over like you got a river system and shit where you can see the shore of when it's snowing out, when it's cold and it's frozen. You can see on rivers that move, like moving rivers and shit like that have water that move. You can see that it's frozen on top, and underneath the water's still going, like the water still flows under the frozen ice. And there's certain levels where you can see where the water was very high, the water fucking the water drops, the level drop, and the ice is right above. There's like about 2 feet above the water, ice, a big sheet, and underneath, through the ice, you can see the water, rocks, and all the shit underneath it flowing. Have you ever seen that?
No, I'm envisioning it. I see it now.
I've seen that my own self. Like I've gone walk through the water and like you can
Uh-huh.
break through the ice and the water many inches down underneath the ice, but it's still frozen above it because the water
Oh,
happened to that.
yeah, I see what you mean now.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it'd be like 3 inches of the ice could be 2 inches thick, but when you crack it, it's hollow like a little drop, and then you can see the water underneath running. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, now that right there, on an epic large scale in Antarctica and in places in the South Pole, North Poles, where the water was so high, fresh water that turns into icebergs and all that shit. The water sheet was very fucking thick and high, so it's like a fucking, let's say, uh,
Yo, I
I would
never
say
thought of
fucking
that,
like,
bro. I don't mean cut you
yo,
off. That the icebergs, water level had to be high for them icebergs to form in the first place.
absolutely, absolutely. Now the water. Let's say the water level, the ice is about, let's give it a modest fucking 20 feet thick. All right, let's say
Mm-hmm.
20 feet, which is modest, dog. It's 20 feet thick. It's fucking a mile up, and it's a fucking biological ecosystem underneath it with green forest and everything because it's a biodome, like reflecting glass, like a greenhouse. The frozen ice, even if it's a half a mile thick, the light gets through the ice, makes a fucking dome, makes underneath that shit an ecosystem where the forest, ancient forest, and fucking shit is under there, dog. Animals and shit that we have never seen before. There's all kind of shit like that. They was talking about this, dog, on
Hmm.
a level that I was like, dude,
Hmm.
this is unbelievable, bro. That it's warm, everything. There's
Hmm.
no cold air under there, no frigid, nothing. It's all the sunlight. It's always sun. It's always bright. The fucking reflecting shit goes through the ice like nothing, like glass, and fucking makes a blue glow. Underneath there, it's all blue all the time with green forest and lush ecosystem.
That's dope.
Mm.
That's dope. I'm just thinking about that, tying on that because it's a lot of I was even going into the Hollow Earth thing.
Mm-hmm. It all ties into that.
Mm-hmm.
The Egyptians, as a matter of fact, even on a trip, I was tripping and I was asking about the pyramid. And my hands, I started doing movements with my hands, making the pyramid, and I started doing a blueprint with my fingers, making the pyramid. And then I did some like shit, like fucking sign language, and made the middle part of the pyramid, and it was showing me with my hands the trip, the queen's chamber, the king's chamber, underneath that where they got the shit, and they kept going down further, and it was showing me that basically the fucking pyramid, as above so below, keeps going down further. It's just the beginning. It's like a roof chimney that goes down to the underworld. They had connections to that shit through those pyramids, and they're not letting us go down there and check it.
Yo, that. I'm trying to react to what you just said and break it down at the same time, and to myself like, wait, what? Yo.
Dude, and they made it. They did the top, the pyramid. It's just the fucking beginning stages of a fucking of tunnel system to make sure that that shit don't collapse, dog. And fucking is structured in a way that is beyond our fucking imagination if you move the same. And then fucking you keep going down, and all it's doing is making a pathway to go straight down into the underworld, dog.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah.
not let. They will never ever let anybody go down there. There will always be some fake conflict and all that other shit to never let motherfuckers go check that shit. They will always have some type of issue. And then if it's not that issue, it's an archaeology issue. And if it's not that issue, it's a fucking something else though. They always got it's flooded with water. Go past that water and see what's under there.
And you would think they would want to do that. Like if they ain't hiding nothing.
They've been did that. They've been did it.
A major prophecy unveiled. No, I don't know what that is. Talking about prophecy. I was just looking at it. Trying to look up a picture of Agartha. But they showing all this other Nazi.
The feeling I got when I was asking about the pyramid, I just didn't even go further. I didn't even want to go. I just like, okay, it just made sense. It just goes. It's just a bridge to go down, and it's also a energy. It might even be a fucking something, dog, an energy source from like, you know how we use solar power. They use some type of fucking crystal power that's embedded in the fucking stonework and all that other shit. Stone power, dog. Like some crazy shit from that stone that I had in my hand that could do some shit that's magnetic. Magnet is natural. Matter of fact, there's so much magnetic shit inside of some mountains that are magnetic, highly magnetic, that they can't fly. They're not allowed to fly over there because it'll fuck up their whole systems. And there's people that vanish over there because of the magnetic shit. It's portals. All that shit creates shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, Bermuda Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up listening about all those Bermuda Triangle stories, and they still don't really know. I used to hear about planes riding through the clouds, and then the clouds would start forming a shape over the plane, and then they never saw it. They never seen again. Or the person that told that story, they would say that they was somewhere else and then popped out somewhere else, like, or ships disappear.
Triangle though. It's always the power of a triangle, though, because the Bermuda Triangle. There's also a triangle in my area, in my neck of what's called the Bridgewater Triangle, where fucking the Wampanoag reservation and the Indians talk about this shit in Freetown. Talk about that there's Pugwaji and Sasquatch that live there. That they got a different name for the Sasquatch, but they have Bigfoot and they have Pugwaji. And Pugwaji's these little motherfuckers that got spikes on their back. They look like the Critter from that movie, The Critter. They got spikes on their back, like a porcupine, and they're like little hobbit type dudes, and they got porcupine back, and they're fucking supposedly they're like mini Sasquatch, but they're like porcupines. I don't know.
There's one outside of Japan too, like the Bermuda Triangle. Supposedly there's 6 around the world. There's a ley lines called the Becker-Hagen's grid, where you can look up. It's on like exohuman.com. Just look up Becker/Hagen's grid, and you can see like the ley lines through the area. There's obelisks in Phoenix that are built on ley lines here in Phoenix.
Wow, people
like
knew what they was doing.
Yeah, like the whole shopping. If you go to Frank Lloyd Wright, the corner of Frank Lloyd Wright and Scottsdale in on Google Maps, and you see the blue obelisk, and then you kind of zoom out, that whole geometry of the parking lot and all structures are pointing right to where the ley line crosses the water right there.
Man, I gotta find it for something in Chico. I'm looking up some grids now on Google.
I don't know about the grids, but I know that the Bridgewater Triangle is just this area where many things have been seen in the swamplands and all that shit. They've seen a giant anaconda-style fucking black snake, bigger than an anaconda, like a giant 50-foot snake. They've seen the giant, the Sasquatch men and women, and they've seen the little Pugwaji dudes that shoot arrows too. They have poison-tipped arrows, and they fucking supposedly push people off cliffs and shit. Like they trick you with lights. They have power to make fire, like cold fire, a fucking blue flame that they fucking, you see it and you follow it and you keep seeing it appearing and you keep going, and they'll bring you all the way to a ledge, and then when you're looking up, you look off the ledge, they'll push you. Like some weird, they got weird fucking stories about the Pugwaji being mad mischievous.
Yo, they making a show out of it. Out of the Bridgewater
but
Triangle. It's gonna be on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. That's not too far from me, dog. Like you know what I mean? Like that shit. That shit's fucking weird as fuck, bro.
Oh yeah, you in
My boy,
Boston? I
yeah.
forgot. Yeah.
Mhm.
You said your boy. I didn't mean to.
Hmm?
No, you said something about your boy.
Oh no, he went out there to the Bridgewater Triangle to Freetown to the forest, and it was blocked off. It said do not enter, and they went underneath the fucking thing that said it was listed a bar to block cars from driving in. And they went out there and they said they was walking down this path, and that it was fucking on both sides surrounded by fucking high ass ledges of like you can't see what's back there. It's all forest, like you know what I'm saying, like, and that they were hearing shit, but they don't know what there was back there. But they got creeped out and they just left, because they couldn't bring the car, they
Hmm.
couldn't drive through there, they had to walk. It was like, nope, we're out of here.
Yo, I just had all these clues click just now, and before I forget, I'm gonna check out the Saturn side. I know exactly what you're talking about, and the I saw a giant bird when I was younger. When I was younger, I saw a giant. I I'm trying to. I don't have any more description right now, cause now all I have is references. Cause I was just looking up on the wiki about the Bridgewater Triangle as you was talking about it more, and I saw when you were saying the bird, I was looking at something called the Thunderbird sighting, and giant birds being seen, and I was thinking about Pokemon when the first episode when he saw well, I keep saying when he saw Oho, and that's when he first started his journey, and it left. I mean, no, they've remade it so that in the new one he left like this rainbow feather fell down, but in the original one he just saw it, and he didn't see Oho for years down the line, like literally years in the Pokemon anime, years down the line again. But I was just thinking, and this is why I say I'm not really thinking anymore. Like I saw myself as a kid looking up in the sky and having that feeling that I saw a huge bird in the sky, a huge bird, and it's the same way it came to me before that I saw a city in the sky. It was a huge, and I don't even know who I was with, but it was a huge city that was like pierced out of the clouds, like a floating city. But I was for some reason on a cliff or somewhere in like nature or somewhere, but still I was still back in Philly. I don't know, like that's the one of the most that's one of my most random memories. That city, but the bird. All I can say is I definitely seen it, or else I'm gonna have a mushroom trip and I'm like, see, yeah, you told yourself you seen it. Here go right here.
Mhm.
That's what keep happening. That's why I'm just saying, yeah, I guess it was something. I can't brush it off. Like I ain't brushing off anything. I'm just being hype right now, but the I see how brushing off thoughts, how quick our minds just try to say, no, I ain't see that. Or even they even show that in movies. Movies try to show us how much we play ourselves all the time. When we say, oh, I just had an itch. Or it just got cold. There ain't no spirit there, it's just cold. Or that just happened. Write things off as a coinky dink. Oh, that was just a coinky dink, it's coincidence. Or just come up with a scientific reason off the bat or for why that happened. Like I did that a lot. Like to the point I wanted to be just a scientist. Wow, man, I'm funny.
You be a scientist right now just by fucking around and watching videos and learning, testing out theories and buying equipment, just
Hmm.
copying shit. Now there's more information on YouTube than there is in fucking than college courses and shit, bro. Like you could learn everything you need to learn in school through YouTube.
You really are. We really are already. We really are. You can't really go to a school and do this right now. You're going to have to focus on some other credit subjects in order to keep your whole score up.
Exactly. You could do it. You could brush up on hands-on education is what I'm saying. Like you could learn how to build shit from scratch.
Hmm.
Either whether it's electrical shit, whether it's fucking mechanical shit, whether it's fucking farming, whether it's mycology, whether it's fucking anything, dog. Like you could learn that shit, watch videos, practice it, get it right, and then fucking go take courses that they're gonna teach you some talk. And then when they get to the fucking doing, you're gonna be fucking ace student. Fuck talking. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the fucking. It's all about you could get all this fucking hands-on shit. You know what I mean?
You're indoctrinated. There's another indoctrination.
You can build the car from scratch, bro, on YouTube or a motorcycle. Just little piece by piece, carburetor, this, that, every little fucking step by step. You'll find somebody doing it, dog, and just do it. Follow them, and you build a fucking motorcycle from scratch, car from scratch, whatever the fuck.
Most people, well, not most people. A lot of us don't have a heart, and I'm not saying if you in college right now that you don't have a heart, but what I mean by that is like knowing how much of you can do things on your own, like really realizing it. Like really realizing it. And in my life has been showing how much I can really do for myself. Really do, because the mushrooms, they be showing me the programs people put up. And it's not always just not a bad thing or a good thing, but it's just a program. It's just like the Weight Watchers thing. Like the mushrooms and stuff, they have the voices in my head to help me like have a good diet. Like now I'm eating different foods. Like I'm still transformed, but I started eating certain meats again, and like really like getting whispers about my diet and how it can be improved to have a certain lifestyle that I want to have. And I forgot what I was really saying. Like how it dang, I don't know what I was saying. It just all wiped away.
Wow. You're not.
Dang. Now I got this song playing louder and louder in my head. I'm like, interesting.
What song?
It's this FKA Twigs song. And it's saying, where she went to go visit, in the video, she went back to go visit her inner child. Like saying, I didn't know how you was really feeling, but I'm here to be here with you now. And she like, it was this trippy stuff, and she went to go visit her kid self, who she found like wandering around the woods. And it's real trippy at the end, because she like revealed this eye that was on her stomach. It's cool.
You ain't ready, bro.
I was born ready.
Hey man,
Say.
I know for a fact right now when
I
I went out
remember
there
now.
that I can find a place of pure magic out there in the woods in this way. Pure.
You already feel it. You need to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
You ain't ready.
It's like fucking fairyland out there, like green moss and no snow. Like it's all snow everywhere, and in one spot there's no snow, no nothing. It's just all peaceful and fucking Smurf Village out there. I'm telling you.
Oh, Smurf Village. I got some Smurf toys. I'm gonna start taking some pictures with them with the mushrooms. Make some good sceneries.
Old ass toys like that gotta be worth money.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day when we was kids, we had all them toys that we just, man, that's crazy, right? If only we knew that all them stupid toys we wanted to play with, we would have just not played with, kept them and stashed them and shit. When we got to an adult, that's just, this one's a house, this one's a car.
Yeah. And you just reminded me what I was saying too, but being able to go about things and do things on your own, having a character. Because when I first started it was like getting on the rap thing. Because I was like, man, I want to be a rapper, but I'm not signing up for no industry. Wiz Khalifa was just coming out around that time, and he was like, I just see now how everything in front of us is always what we're not what we're supposed to do. We do it in our own way, but you know in your own life, like how that thing is talking to you, and whatever come up in your vision right when you see it, that's what's blocking you. And that's what's making, not blocking you, but that's what's making you go into a whole nother experience in a whole nother world, and then that still becomes the dream. Like, oh, I'm still dreaming of doing that. And it's like, you still are dreaming, because what you're really focused on is, oh, I had to clean, or, oh, I had to do this, or, oh, and then your voice come around saying, oh, you're not ready. You're like, oh, wow, wait, oh, yeah, I am caught up. Oh, whoa. And then you start going about it on your own. Like even people building all these sites now where you can sign up and learn a skill, Skillshare. They got Skillshare. You can sign up for that, be at your home, pay a couple bucks, and learn something about electricity, how to build, do all these different things. But this was only made too from people that had their own mindset and was creating more. Cause it's like when you stay in that college setting or in a setting, and that's what I was going into. Now I remember everything. All right. My grandma, she was in the Weight Watchers program, and I was saying how the mushroom was helping me with my diet, and I was seeing the ways that I was coming to terms with myself is ways that the Weight Watcher people was trying to had came up with this whole configuration plan, and they try to dial it in to the specific person and stuff. Like they were saying, don't eat that much in the morning so that you can feel that you're not really that hungry when you think that you're hungry. And around the time that she was doing that, I was like, yo, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. I want to feel that I'm hungry, not think that I'm hungry, because I'm used to eating around this time or used to doing this. I want to feel hungry, and that's why I'm enjoying this meal right now. And I was like, these people know, and just like the same thing with religion, like people know what makes people feel good, what's going to get you to a certain spot, but it's like they just get you to this certain spot. And even the ones that go into college, like the college degree is not going to get you your dream. Like they even say that too. That's just another stepping stone. It still take you to know what to actually do with that degree. That's why a lot of people walk around degrees and it's just like, oh, I got piece of paper, and I'm in debt now. They still like they in the program. Now, they went along with what people was telling them, and they didn't have that extra sense, that sixth sense we talking about. That mushroom Alexi, whatever, we gotta come up with a term for that. But that had to have them say, well, this is what you can be doing with this in this scenario right now, like now, not 50 years later, not after some person that you hoping come into your life and breathe new life into it and say, oh, like do it now. And then it's like the mushroom showing me how people start coming your way, and you send them that way at that time because now how you're feeling, how you're going about life, and now this is happening. And it's not so much planned out. But it's more of working off what you already know. And like we only know what we know, and without trying to guess and go into the future, that creates more of us being. We're just in the being, working off what we feel as though we know, which is the best that we can do because we're humans, and then go from there. And what cracks me up is that when you really into academics and stuff like that, your heroes and stuff is always a person or a figure that got beyond all the chains that was put on them. And then it's why could that be the fuel to why people be more academically successful, because they got this other outside rock star person that's been inspiring them. When like we're that rock star. Like that's why I like Rick. And that's why I like me. That's why I love me. And Ozo and Exile 13 and UL and True and the people that's like dealing with the psychedelics and still like have a mindset of trying to figure something out. Like going off what we think, what we feel, our expressions, and letting it create the next step instead of figuring it out. Because I can see we all was real planny type people, because we real smart. We were really intelligent people. Like we got real strong intellect about us that has to connect some dots. We're going to connect some dots regardless.
Two or three dots.
So I'm glad we connected some higher level dots. Some whatever it is, man. We having fun. We finally having fun. I can feel that. We having fun now. And not having to dumb ourselves down to have fun. Like that we be able to still have our wits about us. Yeah, still have our wits about us and have fun. You know how it is, some people be feeling played or like, well, you don't know or
No, you're absolutely right, because their wits go right out the window on the first session. And then we
Yeah.
come back and it's like, dude, this is it's this. No, they like it's 100% what they say, and it's like, dude, nothing is 100%. Nobody's right about anything. We're all wrong. Life is fucked up, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Life is crazy, dog. It's so weird. We're not even, our brains probably will never, this form that we're in now currently probably cannot process the fucking information of what really is what. That's why we forget most of it. When we come back from them trips, it's like we got Men in Black and shit. Most of that information is like, I don't remember some of it, but you remember the things that blow your mind that have to do with this reality.
I know.
Because they're still tethered, they're tethered to this shit. So they have some foundation here. But the ones that don't have foundation here, most of that shit you forget it. It's all supposed to be in the astral.
And that's what I saw us doing now. I saw us bringing a lot of these concepts and merging it here with this reality. But and we creating a lot of new things, a lot of novel experiences because we on that train. Like, and they might just be in one sentence real quick, and then in the next show we be like, oh, remember I was thinking this. Now I extrapolated off of that. I'm doing this. What I think off of this now. Just keep on going off, and then somebody else come in with another thought, throw a curveball. But now we curvy right now. That's all. We just keep going.
Got you, man. I'm with it, man. Like, yo, I'm excited. I'm always excited when it comes to new strains and new things, and like, you know, the MEO and all that stuff. But it's always about just there's a message, dog, that comes with these different strains that are particular to the strain, that it make you feel some type of, you know, like the set and setting. Somehow the shroom is the set, part of the set and part of the setting. They you know, we're doing there's always a collabo going on.
They
And
saying we thinking, we here too.
Yeah, it's a collabo, and it's like they're using us to express this shit, and we're using them to create this shit. Like, it's like we meet halfway in the stomach. We create the psilocin from them. You feel me? And from that experience, dog, their information is imbued into the psilocin. We have to hold hands in order to create that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes into us, dog, it's like we're sharing their realm and ours, the micro, the everything, and the ancient, because they've been here since the beginning, and they've probably been through space time. That's what fucking Terrence talks about. Like, these things could have traveled through space, and space is relative, dog. Like, let's say you leave the planet allegedly, and you go out somewhere far, and then you come back. By the time you come back, to you only fucking 3 or 4 or 5 years went by, but on Earth 50 years went by, because time and space somehow stretches. And
Yeah,
it's not
time
relative.
dilation.
So, yeah, so this dude is talking about these spores being spread infinitely throughout space, and fucking just floating out there, catching rides on meteors, and just part of the. They're so microscopic, dog, that if you even see them in the syringe, you're seeing billions upon billions, because they're so small. They're not identifiable to the eyeball. So if you're seeing any purple anything, that's billions and trillions, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, these things coming through space and probably being on other planets, and they could rise off the ground with evaporation. They could evaporate out of the fucking ground and go up into the clouds, come back down in the rain, go to whatever region they want, wherever they fucking comfortable, dog. And the shit is that if they come from other planets and did that, they could leave from the atmosphere too. You know what I'm saying? They can hitch rides on our rockets or whatever the fuck we shoot out there. Anything, like, dude, on our clothes, on our shit, they're everywhere. So it's like, what do these things not know? What if the spores themselves are like mini fucking automatic camera, fucking little microchip, fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're made out of some shit that's like metal that can survive the atmosphere. They're fucking, it's crazy. They might be just data collecting fucking things, dog. Who knows? They might be connected to the, you know, they might receive radio waves and everything. They know everything. They see our TV, they see everything. Who knows? If it's electronical, the skin of it is electronic, conducting. You know what I'm saying? Of the spore itself. So, man, even bugs, the electronic conducting also. Their skin are on their exoskeleton is on the plane of metal type shit. Them motherfuckers look like they've been 3D printed, and them motherfuckers can produce sounds that are metallic. You're not ready.
Yeah, spores is. I was thinking about the spores that grow in hollow earth, too. I was thinking of in this book I was reading, there's these mushrooms that grew in hollow earth, and they grew as tall as buildings, and it was like another sun under there. But the reason I brought it up because he said the being that brought the God to this place, he was saying how the mushrooms on Earth used to grow way bigger, but they don't grow as big as they used to anymore, and they didn't
Yeah, they're
really give an
petrified
excuse
now.
for them. What'd you
They're
say?
petrified now. They're petrified now. They're
Scared?
petrified. They're petrified. Look up. Look. No. I'm talking about. Look up petrified stone mushrooms. Giant petrified mushroom stone. Those are ancient mushrooms petrified into stone.
Uh-huh. I'm typing it in now.
Hmm.
But no, I'm with that being on a Oh! I saw somebody post a picture of this before. Yeah, hold on, here it is. I can show the folks. There it is. Yeah, this is the one I saw. It's huge. There's a rock, and there's another rock just sitting up there. It's just flat across it. Like a scientist gonna try to tell me weathering just made that happen, but it even has a veil. It even has a veil around it.
Dude, look up mycelium mountains. Mountain mycelium. Like there's these things that looks like, dude. I've seen mycelium. This shit looks like the whole mountain range is made out of some mycelium that was plucked and harvested and shit. Like what the fuck?
Huh. Man, but the be coming from other planets, the spores, that's live. That's live. Because then it's like, cause they always, I don't know, I was thinking about how they've been here for so long. I was thinking about 2001 Space Odyssey when the monolith came to the humans and was like teaching them certain things and stuff like that, having them experience certain things. I was watching somebody try to break down what the monolith was yesterday, how people was trying to say it was an alien and stuff like that. But yeah, the
Yeah,
spores.
basically, it's like
Hmm.
fucking a species that doesn't know shit comes across the monolith is something that's not normal. It's flat. It was like a cell phone standing up in the middle of the fucking floor, like a plasma screen sitting there, and they could touch it and know that this shit. They try to slap things across it. They fill in the edges. You can see it's perfectly measured. It's something to make the mind bend and think of what the fuck. Like for motherfuckers, you see natural environment, rock and tree and fucking animal and death and whatever the fuck's on the planet, and
Uh
then all of
huh.
a sudden some structure carved out of rock, perfectly formed, chiseled out of fucking, you know what I'm saying, laser technology type shit. It'll give pause, and it causes the spark of ingenuity in the brain, and fucking that little seed starts to snowball. That's what it's all about. The little snowball of the human brain to evolve.
Oh
Brain like
yeah, I gotta watch the movie. I never watched it. I just know it's cool. But then I learned too that movie. That's why I like that we can get the esoteric out of it. Was created to promote the space race. I said, oh, they got us. But I'm glad that we was able to get like the esoteric information out of it. Because I found out the book was written alongside the movie. That's why the movie is different than the book. And the movie is really the inspiration that made the book. Like this one of the small instances where the movie came before the book, even though it was being written around the same time. But
The movie
mhm.
came, the book, the, the book came before the actual flag of the moon too, which is interesting.
Oh man, your phone be fucking up. You said something about the moon and something else. The book came out before the something about the moon. Yeah, his connection is bad
Yeah.
because I think he's far. He's on the other side of the planet.
And then this guy was trying to break it down on the YouTube video I was watching. He was trying to say too how the most trippiest way, like how you were saying it was inspiring them, and he was trying to say how the slab was a monitor, and
What
that the
slab?
monitor the in
Oh, okay, yeah, the
2001,
monolith.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
the
the
monolith.
audience watching in on what was happening
Yeah,
in the movie, and that what they
Mm.
was watching when they was looking at the slab was what was going on in this world. And that's still inspiration there too. Seeing the future, like not knowing what is going on and stuff, and like saying, "Oh wow, this is something that's possible."
Yo,
And
fam, you ever seen that block of stone that's from fucking Russia? That is the stone is as big as a cruise ship. There's no way they build a wall with stones as big as a fucking cruise ship, dog. They cut it square. I'm talking about, dude, the man looks like an ant next to the fucking one brick. Who the fuck made that, bro? We can't make that now. We can't move that, and it's on top of a fucking mountain somewhere in Russia, bro, in the fucking forest impenetrable, like somewhere in the bumfuck that they didn't even know that shit was there until somebody came across it. It looks like a mountain, and it's really somebody built a wall. A giant. I'm talking about beyond belief big. That is retardedly that's a monolith right there. That's a monolithic structure that when you go there and you touch it and you think, scientists doesn't even want to talk about that shit. Science can't even come up with a fucking mathematical equation on how to lift that.
man, I was it came in my mind moving things with sound, and this
They
guy
can come
that's
up with equations though to how to lift it, but they can't come up with one and the solution to put in a blueprint to pick it up and move it. We don't got nothing that could do that unless it's a dry dock where we could pick up a ship at, and because we use the water to do it. There's no way you could do that any other way, unless you're a
talking
giant.
about the pyramid?
No, beyond the pyramid, better. That structure is more. It's just one block, which is more of a statement than the entire pyramid in my eyes, dog. Like the block is bigger than fucking man. Like it's retardedly big, bro. It's in Russia. I forgot the name of it, dog.
yeah, I was trying to look it up.
Yo, look up the fucking biggest fucking monolith in the world. A monolithic stone in blocks in Russia or whatever.
Uh-huh.
What if these shrooms, man? What if some alien species figure out how to like manipulate their neurons in their brain and then send it out across the universe, and then when you eat the shit, contact.
It could be because you know the vibrate. You could feel stuff like that's possible when you're on shrooms, but nobody ever
Because
telling
it's
you
like
that.
a brain. It's like a neural network, right? Shrooms, fungi. It's like the
It
internet.
feels it. Yeah, absolutely. You might be tapping in to the internet
Yeah.
when you eat that shit, and it's like a calling card. That's what this
Yeah.
dude said. That
The
why
best
is it that
way
when you
to
eat
travel.
shrooms, mushrooms pop up? It's like you're like, here I am, I'm here. Your brain waves pop up on their radar.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I just seen it, Justin. I had the screen up.
I had to log in.
Are you talking about the Gornea Sharia megaliths? Ozo?
Yeah, what stone you talking?
Hey, Todd,
Hey.
I don't know the name. I don't remember the name.
and something about the slab or something. I was on Instagram and they was showing these life hacks for cooking shit. And when it had got to the ribs, the slab of ribs, it was saying like how you know when it's cooked or not. And you
Uh-huh.
were saying slab, looking at the slab of ribs.
Wait, say the last part again. Your microphone went out.
Oh, right. I was saying when you were saying slab, it
Mm-hmm.
was showing the slab of
Oh,
ribs.
on the TV. That's what I
Well,
thought
I
you
was
was
on
saying. Uh-huh.
Instagram. And it was showing like life hacks, like all that type of things. Though. But yeah. That's
Hey, we are hacking life right now, so to speak.
You go.
It's all connected.
What about in Georgia? Georgia Stone. Anybody? That's a month.
No, I know we had that in Georgia. I can't find the one in Russia. I was looking for
Hey,
it.
I stayed in Stone Mountain for a while. When I was in Atlanta, I stayed in Stone Mountain in this little project up there for like about 6 months. I stayed out there.
Yeah, that's next level.
Freestyle
That's next level,
climbing.
man.
Yeah, look
Hell
up
yeah.
Spider-Man. This dude's ligaments in his fingers look like, I don't know, it's crazy. They're so strong. He calls
There's
himself
something going
Spider-Man.
on in those guys' mind. In those guys' mind, they're not like freaked out.
It is. And they get so out there that I heard them say they have to remind themselves to not be so relaxed or they gonna die.
That would help on the trip a lot. Right there.
Yep.
Like, oh, so what do you do when you if you ever feel on the trip? Do you have any technique? or anybody.
When things start getting all out of bounds,
All out of control.
I'll be like, oh, this is it, and I just shut up more. I try to shut myself up more. I say I must not be shutting up something or blocking something.
Oh, yo, it's Gornaya. That's what it is. You was right. It's Gornaya. The Gornaya fucking stone wall. That fucking shit. The pine trees look like baby little Legos. Yo, that shit
You ain't
fucked
ready?
up. Yeah. What up, Drew?
You ain't ready. I was
I ain't
Hey,
ready,
Drew.
bro. You already know. You already
doing my
know.
little mycology, getting all my stuff ready so I squirt these spores in this bag.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's dope.
Inoculation
Yo, man,
day.
even the dopest shit is the dopest shit for anybody to try is king oysters, bro. You get your hands on
Yeah.
some king oysters and fucking you send it out and you get them shit shipped to you and you inoculate the shit. You learn all the process. The king oysters will grow some fucking
On
hefty,
anything.
bro. Some hefty, chunky fucking shrooms that taste delicious, though.
Yeah.
I had some oyster mushrooms on my birthday. Got some from the market. They was good.
Bro, hey man, I cannot get used to this lucid dreaming, bro. That shit is fucking weird, bro. That is the weirdest thing to me right
You're gonna have to check out then, fam, because you're gonna have to get used to that.
now. I'm telling you, bro, I'm walking around my dreams like they this life right here.
That's dope.
And
I
like
always
got full
wanted that.
control though. Like got
always
full
wanted
control. That shit is weird.
Hey, True, how much you think this would do, benefit wise, for the dudes that are in prison that is doing like 20 years, fucking doing life sentences and shit like that? How good of a motherfucking therapeutic, real that would be like real changing a motherfucker for the good, like
For
saying
the
like that'll
good.
change a motherfucker.
It really would,
that's
because they always say in prison how you can't trap my
That'll
body, but you
reform.
can't trap my mind. Like this would really
Yeah,
help
dude.
people not have their mind trapped.
Yeah,
Dude, that'll
it'll
reform motherfuckers, man.
and before they get out though, it'll be a nice ass program to have because before they get out, bro, they'll be straight. They'll be coming out there probably clean. They'll probably be just cleaning up the streets and shit like that. Hey man, hey brother, you shouldn't be doing that, brother. The trees is watching.
Yeah, listen, that would be a dope ass. Listen, that would be a dope program because it would be a very monumental thing, like for them to do a reoffender program, like motherfuckers who guaranteed they say on paperwork these motherfuckers are gonna try those motherfuckers in a trial study and see if this time motherfuckers get out after trying this study for about a few months of heavy
Yeah,
doses.
because if you think about it, right, it's gonna show them why their life is the way it is. It's gonna break everything down to them from a child all the way to them being an adult. It's not gonna just put them in a position to where they just gotta sit up and do this or try to do that or sit in their cell. It's gonna put them in a position to where they gonna run through their whole life program and everything that made them do anything that they ever did in their life, and it's gonna have them reflect on that, and then it's gonna show them how the people felt that they did the shit to. It's gonna run them through that course of this is what it felt like. Everybody that was going through shit, everybody you ever harmed, this is what they felt like, and they're gonna feel it all at once. It'll be some mind blowing shit, but they're not gonna do that.
I say the nicest people are always the ones that know how they hurt other people, so they choose not to. As much as they can help.
They choose not to. Man, today is a beautiful day, man.
Beautiful day.
Hell yeah, even out here in the snow, beautiful, all of it.
Yeah. That's snow.
Well, yo, bro, you better get used to that lucid dreaming. Cause I was thinking yesterday, I was talking to the things I want to give names to eventually, but I was like in a daydream, so to speak, or in reality, and I was trying to fly, or I was practicing flying, which was just taking off, just knowing, oh, I'm there. Let's go. Let's do this. And Yeah, and I was practicing because I said if I it's saying if you can practice this now, like when you get there in that dream and the lucid, like when you real, like when I go to sleep here for real, like I'm still practicing, like getting at it, because I'm seeing I'm there so much. Like you say, I'm there so much. I'm like, I know what this is, and I'm here reminding myself of what it is over there, and I'm trying to do something more, or not something more, just see what's, just do what I'm hearing in my head is possible. If that makes
Yeah,
sense. I'm trying to do what I hear in my
yeah,
head.
because it seems like when you know that this reality is constructed in the brain of something so mighty, it shouldn't. I've been thinking about this since that trip. It shouldn't be nothing that couldn't be done here. If
Nothing.
you want to float off into space, you should be able to do that because air is not real. Nothing is actually
Hey,
what it is.
hey, true. Listen, man, that mushrooms. I don't know why they do that to you, man. And that shit, that 4-ACO is the same as taking mushrooms, dog. You're creating psilocin. That's so. What I'm saying is this compound, the psilocin, yo. Why does it make? Dude, I went outside one time, tripping, dog, out to that field that's below that fucking forest down there. I looked up at the sky, dog, and all I was looking at was the neurons inside of a giant brain. Like, dude, like we're in a fucking brain.
Man.
Yep.
We're just a fucking thought. Like, oh
The
shit.
neurons in somebody else's brain. Some bigger thing
the,
going
the,
on.
Somebody else's brain.
the stars and all that shit, the sun and all that shit, those are all neurons and shit, synapses and shit that goes on inside of our brain. We're just a miniature scale. Dog, there's an outer space inside of
Hmm.
our head, and this is we're inside of somebody's fucking head. Dude, like
That's
that shit is fucking crazy.
Wow. To think about. But it's shit, man. I'm just sitting here going, there's so much to do, there's so many places to explore.
so much to do, bro.
Yeah, so much to do, so many places to
That's why it
explore.
must be psychedelics, because it would take thousands of years, and we don't have that. Well, our fucking little life is a little piece of spit.
Yep.
Like we
But
need to fucking the psychedelics take you through years and years of experience and lifetimes and shit, so that you can fucking evolve your consciousness and your motherfucking your spiritual form and all that shit, your fucking avatar, all that shit, your spirit. You can fucking evolve that shit through experience. The more and more, instead of fucking waiting to do another lifetime and another lifetime and dying and coming back and doing another, dude, you could speed that shit up by probably taking psychedelics and living a lot faster, longer, experience more experience and see shit from different perspectives. Because if you live your whole life and you see shit from one stupid perspective, you damn sure come back and it's gonna go to fucking try it again, bro. You fucked up.
yeah, you fucked up. Talk said it too, because Talk said it. He said, go in there. He said, lay in my coffin. You know what I'm saying? Go into the darkness and I'll come visit you and I'll give you the information. I was listening to the Emerald Tablets of Talk last night. That's how come I didn't make no live, because I was like deep into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just listening to what he said, and everything he said makes sense. And everything he said is what we've been doing. And I'm like, well, that's why we've been getting the information that we've been getting, because we've been going into that dark, going into those places.
Nothing but.
Diving into these places, and they showing it. And that's what that's what it's supposed to do, in order so we can remember. And then when we start come out the lucid dream, we be able to go into different lifetimes and be able to do these things. It's far fetched, but that shit is dope though, man.
Yeah, we far reaching. We far out. We all the fars.
Yeah,
Oh.
far out, just being
That's
and we
far
talk
out, dude.
without even knowing this shit. The Atlantic. I done traveled. I've been in this life many a time. He said, and he said it. He said he didn't watch people. He said, watch people die and come back, die and come back, die and come back, because that's what everybody do. But it's like we know ourselves there. Once we die, we know ourselves. No wonder we come back. But everybody think it's so hectic that I don't want to come back here. Yeah, because you don't understand who you are and what you're doing. Once you get that understanding, you're gonna be back.
Yeah.
It's not gonna bother you. It's not gonna bother you.
It's gonna be a whole nother moment. I've been dealing with that too, bro. They've been showing me how I already been. Now that I'm out of it and I'm back in it, like whatever I am, wherever I am right now, is I've seen how I was. Well, I guess wow. As soon as I be saying I see stuff, it go away, because I was seeing it while you
Huh.
was talking. But
Yeah, ain't that a trip? How when people just say things, it bring up shit that happened on your trip, shit that you seen and experienced on your trip. You get these flashbacks that is like they just outstanding. The
yeah,
outstanding past lives and shit like that.
that's like I'm still
And I'm
tripping
getting
right
it just
now.
like 24. Yeah, I'm still tripping right now because I'm getting it 24/7. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to ACO today. I said, fuck that. I'm diving in again today just because I want to.
Uh-huh. And that's what I was saying. You just reminded me again that I was seeing that. Oh wow! Every time I get to it, that every time. Oh, that
Yeah,
I'm
because
outside of time.
you
I'm
know,
outside of time, and, and all of these moments where I have confusion and misunderstandings, I'm connecting it like it's a. If I'm confused, I'm connecting it or feel lost. It starts connect time as if it's linear, but really
Yeah.
it's not linear, and none of that ever happened, but it happened. But it only really happens when I'm imagining it. And I've been able to
Hey,
go in the past and change stuff, and like I'm not really going in the past, I'm going in I'm just seeing, like all I'm doing is seeing and doing. Then
seeing and
afterwards
doing.
it create terms like, oh, I went in the past, or it's a past life, or I went another
Yeah.
reality, or I'm in the future. Like I don't know what it is. I'm just
Because
seeing and I'm doing.
cause, cause we talk about the concept of time. Who created the concept of time and what time was? Was it the Aztecs or it was one of them people that created time and made time what it actually is.
It is when they
I
started
forgot
making
who
the
it was.
stones. I'm about to look it up.
I forgot who it was. It was the Incas or the
Uh
Aztecs or
huh.
one of them that actually created time and made time what it was and put it like on the time. And I was like, damn, man, I knew we created time. I just didn't know when.
You start getting into it, 'cause you be like, yo, we literally, like, yo, we can track that. We can go into esoteric. Like, it's a never ending
Hmm.
story. We created this, and we feel as though it's real. I don't like going by dates.
Created it. Yeah,
Dates
going by,
or
yeah, we
days of the week.
created it and everything in it. Every point we created that shit, man, and without even knowing. Like,
The days of the week
and
is
then we
nothing but
say,
the gods of Greeks and stuff.
man,
Man.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
And the other thing I was thinking about was oral. While y'all was talking, oral traditions versus when things was starting to be written down in books, and how they used to just be around the fire or just be in their community, and they'll be so into their story that like you living in it, and like the whole community took part in telling the story, and that's how it was able to be passed down because you was so into it that you remembered it, like you experienced it because you was part of the
Yeah.
storytelling. And now we get stuff from books, and
Hmm.
once it's in a book, you can't say, "Oh, you." That's not what it's like. The oral traditions, things can change probably slightly depending on the situation, because you're just in the moment, and they probably had their psychedelics too. But once you get to writing things in books, it's like, oh, we can recall chapter one. This is what was said, so that's what was said. This is what it is. It's written in the book, and we
Hmm.
started going off of
And
that.
and now you're going who? And now my mind is going, who fucking wrote that book? Another man did. So every concept that we ever had was written by us.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, every concept. So it's like, what the fuck, man? I don't know, man. That shit stoked my brain, man. That first ACO trip, man. It killed everything off. It just killed everything and just showed me how everything exists and the shit that we did and why we have the concepts that we even have. And it's like, damn, bro, everything though. Like God didn't come down and say nothing. He never
hell
said
nah.
nothing.
Nothing.
Not the
But he
day.
did though,
A
because he was the people
a
that was
prominent dude, a prominent guy in charge went into a little room with a candle, came back out and said, "This was written." God said.
Mm, this is what God said. In a tent full of smoke of vacation.
That's what happened. They even wrote that
That's
part
what God
down.
said.
We even wrote that down.
That's the movie Mother. God is the author. His wife,
Yeah.
Mother Nature. He
Oh,
wrote a book in the room, the Bible, and everyone
yeah.
followed it.
Oh, hey, that cause somebody was talking about that last episode of Watch. I finally went and watched it, and Mr. Fantastic came back, explained, hey, broke down the whole story of Adam and Eve. Bruh, that
Ooh.
shit had me
What movie is
tripping
that?
out on the TV show to watch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he because he came back to see what's the name, Regina Hall, whatever her name is, and like he formed himself as somebody that she wanted, that she was comfortable with being with. You feel me? And they like started the relationship, but every time like he knew everything that was gonna happen already. And before it was happening, he was telling her, "Oh, you're gonna get mad at me, you're gonna kick me out. Oh, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that." And then she basically start asking, "So you went somewhere and you started life yourself?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I went." He built the garden, and then he fucking built man, and then he walked with man in there, and he showed him. It was fucking trippy, bro. I'm looking at the shit and I'm going, God damn it. I said, oh, that's what we did. It's kind of sort of what we did, but then it's just trippy how it all happened inside the mind. It never was outside. Nothing was ever outside of the mind of the all. Nothing that was ever created in this reality was outside of the mind of the all that's creating everything that's going on.
Nothing.
And I think that's why we got the connection to everything. We can connect to whatever. Like and Talk said that too. He said he even seen people die and feel like they want to come back as different animals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they did. They came back as different animals and, experienced life as animals or other things. And it's like, what the fuck?
And that's what we doing right now. Like we Ty and True and Mystery Ozo King guys
Yeah.
having the experience of this.
Of this. While it's experiencing that.
Mm-hmm. Observing, like, oh, that's what I would do in that situation. Or that's what I'm doing in that situation.
Yeah, if I was Ty, that's what I would.
How about that movie, The Coming Race, Iron Sky, with the Adam and Eve story?
I didn't see that one.
Yes, you did. With the Hitler dude, the aliens, the fucking Vrills.
What movie is this?
I don't remember.
The Coming Race.
Oh, I never seen that.
Oh, you got to see The Coming Race, Iron Sky Part 2.
Let me
Iron
see.
Sky Part. But it's crazy because it talks about the moon and it shows the behind the scenes of how the fucking moon and how the Nazis went there first, and that the moon is a base and all this crazy shit. Part 2, the Iron Sky, shows how Earth started and how the fucking human race.
Oh, I saw that movie on Netflix with the Nazi base on the moon.
Yes, fam.
And it was a comedy, but not really a comedy.
Yo, it's a comedy to throw it in your face of all the shit that they think that they know about reality, about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
About the moon and about other shit and about how people were created. They show the Vrills and how they created humans, dog. Like fucking crazy.
And had the dinosaurs there too. At the same time.
See that shit.
I remember.
Yeah, I watched it, but I didn't finish it all off because my mom kept
watch it a second time after your mind getting blowed with motherfucking with all that shit. Go back and watch that shit again. You're gonna see the Adam and Eve story again from a new set of eyes.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
I'm gonna have to go check it out. Man. That shit just got me rearranging so much shit in my life right now. It's just like, fuck, man. Rearrange as it begins.
Yeah, bro.
I want the trip. Last night I wanted to trip so bad at night, bro. Like so bad. and I did.
Hey, was it because I sent you that video about the microdosing?
Nah, I watched that. I watched that.
Hey,
That was dope,
You-
right?
Yeah,
hey,
that
bros,
was
I don't mean to
dope.
cut y'all off, but I'm gonna have to come back on. My girlfriend reminded me I gotta take my daughter to school 10 minutes ago.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah. Get to going, man.
Hey man, I'm flowing. It's just the flow, eh? This the story.
Said I was supposed to take my
Better
daughter
flow.
to school yesterday.
Yeah, you better flow to that school.
I'm over there now. Thank you, True, and Oz, and Ozo for coming in, and the Exile 13
man.
too. You still there?
Yeah,
And Blackskin.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Hey,
doubt.
True, you going back in, True, man? What's
Everything
up? What
moving
you gonna do today?
smoother.
I'm gonna have to take
Yeah,
some
after-
Texas. Mhm.
After I
Now, hey guys, thanks for coming on by, Oz. It's not a score, it's the program. It's so that she can still see other kids. I still teach her everything. They just play around. But yeah, I'm gonna be on a little while later. And thanks, Trip, for coming through. Trip, Oz, Yolanda, Justin, Psy, Matt B. Cause it's been a while, Matt B. I just come pop in more often. We here. And Nicholas. Thank everyone for coming on by. And we all tie, but do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Share, like this video, subscribe. Y'all know. So y'all can be back for more. People saying ain't really popping up when we live. So if y'all gotta unsubscribe and subscribe again, if you got the timing, hey, check it out. Do that. And we on Facebook, Instagram, all the social sites. I'm trying to stay up on the Twitter. But it's mostly just connected to the Instagram. So when I post on Instagram and post on Twitter and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to keep the flow, keep the ball going. It's already is. Ty always. Adios. Any creative things, send them this way. Creative ideas, you want to mix and match, partner up. Anyway, shouts to Justin. We're going to be doing the animation together. So there's inspiration to know that things happening. Ty always.